Hey, good morning. It's Mike Zschunke at Berkshire Hathaway Homes for Shift on Properties. On our way to Paradise Valley meeting again. We're going to talk about residential. We're going to talk about commercial. We're going to talk about the economy. Super fun lately. And we're just going to touch base on talking to your elderly parents about their real estate, because that's happening a lot lately in my life. Anyway, residential inventory down for the fourth week in a row. Scottsdale, we're just under 1,600 single-family detached homes for sale. Remember, we follow that because it's a more stable number. But 4 weeks of inventory, we're seeing a lot of cancellations, but buyer demand is staying even. So, we're kind of in a buyer's market across the valley. Of course, every little pocket, every neighborhood's different. Paradise Valley ticked up a little bit according to the Cromford report. Fountain Hills and Cave Creek dipped down a little bit. Scottsdale's pretty even, but this time of year, June, people feel like they want to take their properties off the market, but this is the time that buyers with kids in school are here and they're looking to relocate. So I don't know, I don't understand that. Maybe there's not serious sellers. Let's see, contract ratios pretty steady, a little bit low for June. That's properties under contract as opposed to active listings. Prices are fairly firm. These buyers market, they're very short-lived historically. And on average, you see maybe a 2 to 6% price decline on $1 million property. What is that? $150 a month. If that really changes your payment on your mortgage, then maybe you shouldn't be looking at a buy. Maybe it's better to rent. I don't know. Every deal's different. I keep saying that all the time. But demand's pretty steady. We're pretty much in a normal market, like 2014 to 2019. And I hear more and more agents saying sellers think it's 2022 and buyers think it's 2008. So it's really that gap I've been talking about for a few months now. It's really hard getting people over the fence, just let's get it together. It's, who you can work with, who you can't work with. And if you like something, let's put it on paper. You never know. When you're selling your listing right now, your residence, your house, you can't really test the market. It's, you can't just ask any crazy numbers. Some do. Some, I run a hot sheet every morning and it makes me chuckle sometimes. But then the agents, we've been doing this long enough, who you can work with, who you can't with. But what I want to say is just put it on paper. When you're running your comps, there's a story behind it. You never know why the seller is selling. Do they really want to sell? Do they need to sell? So it's my job to dig into that and find out why. Why did that property trade for that price, whether it's commercial or residential? So, like I said, if you like it, put an offer in. See what happens. Let's get the ball going. I've had actually some good interactions this week. Some respectable agents this week pick up the phone. We have a conversation. And, are we close? Can we make this happen? Can we not make this happen? And you never know. Sometimes it surprises you. But that just comes from experience. And talking. Communication is so important, especially these days with texting and emailing, Facebook messages, Instagram messages. Pick up the phone, have a 30-second conversation. You get so much more accomplished. And that's it. Anyway, commercial. Commercial, again, I've been saying the past few weeks, sounding like a broken record here. A lot of private equity coming into Phoenix. Who was it? Dutch Brothers Coffee, bringing its headquarters to Tempe. Phoenix, I saw a report, top 5 cities for hotel development. That tells me, and that's where I work with the smaller investor, the small business owner, and where is the location for your small business? Where is it going to be most beneficial? And we sit down, we have that conversation. I've bought and sold businesses, owned businesses, and that's kind of where I bring a different perspective and I understand the business end of it. And just let me know where you want to go, and that's my job to figure out how I can get you there best and own the real estate. It's a no-brainer. But big news in Scottsdale is that Axon, we support responsible development, but they've decided to cut talks with the city of Scottsdale, and they're going to push through with their initial 1,900 apartments and headquarters. That's going to be interesting to watch. It's going to be interesting. That's all we're going to say. But just pay attention to what's going around the valley, and that's where you see the flows. Like Ray Dalio always said, watch cash flows. In real estate, you watch population flows. That's kind of where you do your best in investing on the commercial side. We're working actually with the guy now, kind of assembling some properties, Buckeye area, Tonopah area. He wants to assemble a bunch of properties, develop them, and then sell that off. Awesome. It's Anita. Anita, that's what she did. That's how she made her money. It's great. You just kind of put it together, package it. It's really hard to buy a property, do nothing, and sell it at a profit without sitting on it for a long time. You have to do some sort of improvement on the commercial end, and that's where you gain your value, whether it's entitlements or permitting. But that's really where you make your money on the commercial end. Anyway, economy. You think it's been fun and interesting lately. It's about to get a lot more fun with all the political situations going on. We had PPI this week and CPI this week. Showed inflation cooling a little bit. And it's interesting, Jamie Dimon came out with a little doom and gloom. I love Jamie Dimon. He's awesome. Janet Yellen came out and said these tariffs are going to increase inflation 3%. But then in the same sentence, she wants rate cuts. So that makes no sense, actually. If tariffs are going to increase inflation, why would you cut interest rate? That's it's like a weatherman saying it's going to be sunny out, but telling you to bring an umbrella. That makes no sense. So there's a lot of political movements going on with the economy, and just pay attention to what works for you. We've got some turmoil in the Middle East. Typically, we would see bond prices. We'd see people jump. What people say and what people do are two completely different things. So, people say they don't want to invest in American treasuries. But a little bit of turmoil going on in the world, they start jumping into treasury, bond yields fall. U.S. dollar rises, oil increases. And, I stood next to a trader in the Chicago Board of Trade pit a long time ago, and he said something real smart. He says, doesn't matter what the data says, watch all the other traders. What are they doing? Learn who trades off of what. You know that the markets, they're going to overreact. So kind of know your crowd, know your competition, know who you're working with. So, the data is what it is. There's a lot of agendas out there in the economy side, and just stick to your guns. What works best for you? Like I always say, every deal is different. Every person's situation is different, whether you want to buy or sell, and it's in real estate too. I know the agents I can deal with. I know the agents who take the overpriced listings. I know the agents who sell properties, and the ones who just want 20 listings out there just to get their name out there. So that's where I bring value to the table. And interesting, I always feel like God, I just want to touch base real quick. I feel like God brings people into your life for a reason. And lately, I think I may have mentioned my parents, myself, and back east. And I had a lot of elderly clients call this week. They want to start regrouping their real estate. They want to sell it. And there's a lot of fraud out there. They're getting so many calls. I've taken a couple listings that just to protect them, I actually had a pretty heated. I love these elderly people. They're awesome. They tell you there's no bullshit. Can I say that? It's they tell you what's on their mind, and it's just. I don't know. They're getting a lot of calls from a lot of fraud. So just I'm 50, if your parents are elderly, if you have a friend that's elderly, keep an eye on their real estate. Like I said, put a Google alert into all your real estate properties. There's a lot of fraud out there, and just pay attention. And you want to protect them. You want to protect their assets. So anyway, I got to run in here. We're jumping into Paradise Valley. I don't know if that made sense or not, but give me a call. I'm here to help you. Get through take the emotion out of the deal, facilitate, advise, and educate. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Running a little late, so I got to jump in here. But we've got a super crazy day. It'll be all over the place. But we're here to help whoever we need. 203-733-5877. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.